you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I watched so many of these videos when I was trying to come up with a name for my daughter. I find them to be super interesting, and I also was always on Google on all the like baby name websites. At the end of the day, I ended up choosing the name that I thought of. Well, the first name I thought of is the one that I ended up choosing really early on into my pregnancy. I just fell in love with this name and I just felt like it was the right name, but it's a very different name. I feel like now maybe it's not too much, but for a Hispanic family, so I don't know if you guys know this, I'm Colombian. Well, technically my mom's Colombian, my dad's Cuban, but I grew up with my mom and have gone to Colombia like every single summer when I was little, so I consider myself Colombian. My boyfriend is Cuban and his family's Cuban and everything like that, so I have a Hispanic background. So it was a little bit hard for me to pick a name just because I like very unique names. And what happens with unique names is a lot of the times they're hard to pronounce in Spanish, or for Spanish speaking people, you know, a lot of times it's hard to pronounce these like very elaborate or unique names. But I love different names, unique names. I love unisex names, but again, it was really hard for me to find one that was unique, different, unisex, whatever, but at the same time be easy for my family to say, because obviously that was important to me. Even though, you know, she is my baby and everything like that, I want her grandmas to be able to say her name, her family, so that was important to me. I was trying to pick a name that had a little bit of both. It was very hard, I'm not gonna lie, because you guys will see I'm gonna be reading off my list of names that I loved but did not end up using. Maybe I will in the future, you never know, but I'm gonna share them with you today. So these are a lot of the names that I loved, but just like they were either too hard to pronounce in Spanish or for my family to pronounce, or I just didn't love them that much, I guess. A funny story about the name that I ended up using, I had to really convince a lot of people in my family because so many people were just like, really? That's the name? Are you sure? Because the name I ended up picking is a unisex name, and you most commonly hear it for boys. There are definitely girls with that name. I think there's like 2 or 3 celebrities. I've seen the name in TV shows and stuff, like female characters named that in TV shows. So it's definitely becoming more popular as a girl name, but it's more commonly known for a boy. So that's a little hint I'm gonna give you guys. So I definitely had to do a lot of convincing. I think just like 2 or 3 people didn't like the name. Now everyone's used to it. I think everyone likes it now. At the end of the day, it was the one I ended up picking just because no other name felt right. They were just worried that she would get bullied just because it does kind of lean more towards a boy name. I honestly don't think she's gonna be bullied for that name just because it's becoming more common, but nobody better mess with my daughter because I'll go out here. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But basically, you guys, we live in a world where people are always gonna find something to nitpick, you know? So I just hope to raise a strong daughter that knows her worth and knows who she is, and I'm sure her name is not gonna be a problem. It has been a little bit annoying having to just correct everybody and say she, just because like in doctor's appointments, you know, when you write the name down, you know, it's like, oh, he, and I'm like, oh no, she. But that's super common with like other names as well. We've gotten used to it. It's kind of easy to just be like, oh, she, and they're like, oh, I love that. Or anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I hope you guys stay tuned for her name reveal. I think I might post it on my equestrian YouTube channel. I think I want the animals to help me reveal it, so make sure you subscribe to my other YouTube channel if you guys want to find out the name. But anyway, if you guys are excited to find out all the other names that I loved but did not use, give this video a thumbs up. And if you're coming from my equestrian YouTube channel, subscribe if you want to see more of me and more of baby. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I have a long list of names, and it's a little bit mixed up just because I ended up using the same note that I used for my like animal names. So every time I found a cool name, I would write it down. Even if it was like for a horse or a dog, I would write it down in my notes, and I ended up writing my baby names in the same notes. So there's some like names that I would pick for dogs and horses, and then there's also baby names mixed in here. But I narrowed it down just because there's so many, you guys. So I think I'm gonna narrow it down to about 10 that were like my most favorite names. So one of my favorite names that, you know, maybe I still might use in the future that I really like is Avery. I love that name. I think it's so beautiful, just like Avery. I loved it and I was seriously considering that name, but then I don't know why, I just felt like it was hard to say in Spanish. Like it was just too quick in Spanish, like Avery, I don't know. I just felt like it would be weird for my Hispanic family to say it, or maybe not, but I guess I just liked the one that I ended up picking picking a little bit more, but I love Avery. Avery was like top 3. It's not as hard as all the other names to say in Spanish, but it was just not as easy as I wanted it to be. I don't know. Avery. Avery. Dile a Avery que venga. Avery. I mean, I guess that's not bad. That's not that bad. Maybe in the future. Another name that I thought was super cool was Robin. I just like it. It's a little bit different. Again, it's like that unisex name that can be boy or girl. Robin was on that list. I think I just didn't end up loving it that much, but it was a cool name. Another name that I liked a lot was Meadow. I think that's so cute. Oh my god, Meadow. It just sounds so beautiful. But again, oh my god, my Spanglish is coming out with this video. But again, just like in Spanish, like medo, you know, it's a little weird in Spanish. And when I say in Spanish, obviously I don't mean like in Spanish, but I'm saying like with the accent for my mom to say or my grandma or anything. Medo. Dile a Medo que venga. ¿Cómo está Medo? Another one I liked was Willow. That's super cute, but I liked it. You know, it wasn't like super favorite, but it was one that I like thought of. Willow. Dile a Willow. Willow. Yeah, you see? It's hard to find a name that's like sounds okay with a Spanish accent. Dile a Willow que venga a desayunar. Dile a Willow, ¿cómo está Willow? Willow. I guess it doesn't sound that bad. I guess you just kind of have to get used to it. I feel like that's with every name. My dog's drinking water if you're hearing something weird. Pero like, oh my god. I'm so sorry for my Spanglish. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I liked Willow. Willow's super cute, but I don't know. Again, it was kind of weird for me to think of it like being said with a Spanish accent. Willow. I don't know. I guess I just didn't love it that much. Another one I liked was Rowan. I think that's super cute, but I think I like that more for a boy. This one was a really different one, but I think it's so cute. I like Story. I think that's so cute. I don't remember if I wanted it for a boy or a girl, but I heard it somewhere and I thought that was really pretty, like Story. Is that too weird? Story. Story's cute, and if you have like a good middle name, I think it would be very pretty. Story. Story, come inside. I would do that all the time, you guys. I would literally like say the name and just picture all the scenarios I would have to use it in. Story, no. Like, don't touch that. Or like, like, Story, come inside. I don't know, I would do that with every name. And like, I would say it in Spanish. Story, no se te ocurra tocar eso. Story. I mean, in Spanish is like not that different. Story. Can you go tell Story to bring in her... I don't know. Can you go tell Story to come inside? I mean, that's not bad. Story's kind of cute, actually. I'm liking it. Another name I thought was super cool too was Nova. I liked it a lot, but it just made me think of like space too much. Supernova, I guess. It just made me think of like space. What's that Disney Channel movie? Leave me a comment down below if you know what I'm talking about. But they were like in space and there's like this like singer and there's like a girl and like, I don't know. I think there's like a supernova song that he says. I don't know. It made me think too much of like space, stuff like that. So I didn't end up going with it, but it was cute. I remember before I knew the gender, I could not think of boy names. It was so much easier for me to think of girl names. Boy names was super hard. I saved a bunch of boy though. That's why I'm like looking through it. I see a lot of the boy ones I liked. But another name I liked for baby girl was Harlow. Was cute. Harlow. Dile Harlow. Again, Spanish. It's like weird. Harlow. ¿Cómo está Harlow? Yeah, that sounds... I did not go with that one. Another one I liked was Arden. Arden is really cute too. Arden. But I feel like that's a little hard. Arden. It was like hard to like say. Arden. In Spanish, that means burn. Like when something burns, like ay me arde. No sé. I don't know. It was cute, but I don't know. I wasn't like in love with it. Another name I liked was Harley. I thought that was so cute. I actually thought of this one towards the end of my pregnancy. Again, all of these names were names that I was writing down to like see if any would beat the main one that I liked. At the end, of course, none of them ended up convincing me, but I wanted to try at least. But again, none of them beat the one I ended up picking. They're definitely beautiful, but the name I picked just felt more. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because it was the first name I thought of, so I felt like a connection, like okay, this must be what it's meant to be. But I wanted to try thinking of other names, but Harley was so cute. I love that. Harley. I love that. Another name I picked was, let me see. I like Haven too, was really pretty. Haven. Again in Spanish. Haven. Dile Haven. I don't know. Haven was cute. I also liked Emery. I don't know where I heard that. I don't know if I made that up. Emery. Emery. I thought that was pretty too, but again, I guess I just didn't love it enough. Mila was another name. Mila was super cute. I like that too. Mila. I think my favorites out of all the ones I said that I didn't end up picking was probably Harley or Avery. I loved those two so much. So who knows, maybe in the future. But yeah, you guys, those were kind of like the top names that I have on my list. I have so many more, but you know, I guess I just wrote them down because I thought they were cool, but I wasn't really too in love with them. The ones I mentioned in this video are like the ones that kind of made the top of the list. I don't know at the end of the day if if you guys are gonna think they're that different. Maybe some of them are a little too different, but who knows, maybe I might use them in the future. Or if one of you guys are pregnant and you like any of them, I hope it helps you out. But yeah, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I watched so many of these videos because I was just like, I don't want to pick a name and then like hear a name after and realize it was so cool. So I tried my best to like look at all the names. At the end of the day, I love the name I picked for my daughter. It is a little different. I still have to get used to people saying he before seeing her and having to correct them she. And now in like 2022, it's getting more common for unisex names, or maybe names that you think would go for boys are being used for girls, and I think they're so cool. Like, I think that's the coolest thing ever. But yeah, I love the name I picked. I hope you guys stay tuned to find out what it is. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're pregnant, maybe it gave you some nice ideas if you like any of them. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your post notification bell so you don't miss when I post another video, and make sure to subscribe to my equestrian YouTube channel because I think I might be posting the name reveal over there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't wait for you guys to find out her name. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.